Hangin with Denny.
All right, so talk to me a little bit about, some people might not know about this. I didn't know this about, but you have an educational consulting business as well?
Yeah, so music is just really a side
Yeah.
to my world. I've been in education since 2002, so I am a peer leadership coordinator for the Old Bridge School Districts. I've been doing that for...
So what does that mean?
So it's very rare. A lot of schools don't have
Yeah.
it. So I run a group of seniors in high school. I run a leadership program, so we do a lot of philanthropy in and out of the local area throughout the state. So we work with everybody from Special Olympics, American Cancer Society, Ronald McDonald, big corporations, where I'm just setting these seniors up for leadership positions and roles outside of high school when they graduate. So it's awesome. It's rewarding. We get to help little kids all the time, middle school kids, and we tackle the tough topics that everybody knows are there. But
give me some of those topics. What are you tackling?
Digital citizenship, social media, cyberbullying, things of that nature, mental health awareness, suicide prevention, things of that realm. Going in and educating, again, predominantly the middle school is where it's at today.
Right.
Just starting them young, showing them how to use social media properly, not to not use it, but how to use it to kind of like what we do too, just brand yourself, market yourself the correct way. And, I'm just trying to set them up to be role models, whether they want to be musicians, teachers, lawyers, doctors, or just, start their own business. I want them to be set up for success, so people should be following them, and the people they follow are the ones they should be following.
So what got you inspired about that? Where did the thought come from?
I was an English teacher.
Oh, you were an English teacher?
For 15 years.
There we go.
Right? Just the writing, the creativity.
Horrible grammar over here.
But I've been an English teacher up until about 3 years ago, and I was teaching this peer leadership class with a couple of other teachers. I got to take over the program in 2011. Our principal is just incredible. He gave me the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, as far as just saying, I trust you, your judgment on what you're going to build the program into. And we branched it out and went from just our high school, started working, like I said, with the middle and elementary schools. It became this district-wide program.
Wow.
And, I started just building like assemblies for the schools and, these different topics, and helping kids who transfer. We have a lot of transfer students from other countries who there's language barrier, cultural differences.
How do you guys deal with the language barrier? How does that work out?
We just our peer leaders are the kinds of students who would come in and just kind of find them a support system.
Right.
Because our school's so large and diverse, we have the opportunity to have some student body who can help out in some fashion, who either speaks the language or can point you in a direction where it happens, and just making them comfortable and feeling safe. Social inclusion is a major component of what I do. But I was doing these assemblies throughout the district, over the last few years, and I'm just so passionate about it. I said, I want to share this with other school districts, and that's kind of where my new consulting company just branched and launched out of the last 6 months.
Wow, oh, so 6 months.
Yeah, I've been working on it for about a year, and
right.
Last 6 months it was getting traction, and literally went live almost maybe 2 months ago. So
wow,
it's brand
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Is there what's the toughest? Is there the toughest topic that you guys? It's really hard to tackle, like certain ones that you find it's complicated?
Basically, my company, it's called Academy of Leadership and Character Development. The main focus is really acceptance and tolerance. And it's so broad,
right?
But it's a topic that it really is, no matter what school, private, public, every school has the same issues socially, as far as accepting everybody for their differences, culturally, socially, how we dress, how we talk, what music we listen to.
Of course. Everybody's judging you always.
Oh my gosh,
But it's like, I mean, it's so funny to say, when I grew up, I didn't
right.
deal with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was no social media or any of that stuff at all.
That's probably the biggest presentation right now that I'm doing. It's just citizenship on and offline, and having those conversations with the students that are.
Does it resonate with them? Do they like?
They appreciate it. My angle is so different from any typical presentation you get. It's not like me going in and saying, "All right, kids, cyberbullying happens." It's I start by talking to them about our world.
Yeah.
There was no social media. I graduated without Google.
Right. Right. I couldn't just Google it.
Right.
I know.
And, just showing them the difference of, how much power they have in their hands, with social media, which is a great thing, but also a scary thing. And it's carrying over, in and out of school, just like you said, just how much pressure these kids feel today to market themselves, image themselves, brand themselves in the hallways, in a classroom, on Instagram, Snap, everything. It's something I'm not envious at
Right.
about by any means, but I feel like if I can make a difference, in each school that I get to be a part of, I'm doing something really good, and I'm again just so passionate about it. So I'm excited for it.
That's fantastic, dude. I
Yeah.
think that's awesome.
Thank
'Cause
you.
I love helping out people.
Yeah.
That's just, again, it's not forced. It's naturally
It's natural.
like rhythm, like all that.
Yeah.
I just got a really cool tattoo
Yeah.
of an anatomical heart
There you go.
that has the ventricles
Uh-huh.
are horns. So my heart is always in rhythm.
Right there, yeah.
It's music, but everything editing wise,
That's it.
talking, I get
Flows,
chills.
right?
It's all done by rhythm.
I know.
Nothing's put on.
I know.
And I also love that you teach
Yeah.
all these seniors to help
Yeah.
the younger guys. Like my nephews have autism, so for some reason, if I'm hanging out with them or kids, it's very easy with me to deal with kids.
Sure.
Or with special needs. My dad also used to teach. He taught Middletown North for 35 years.
Awesome.
But then he did the handicap program in the summertime.
Mhm.
So I was always around them.
Yeah.
But it was never weird for me. It was never awkward.
Mhm.
I was just having fun with them, and they always were very loose.
Yeah.
And my nephews, they're always, Uncle D's
Yeah.
here. It's very fun.
And that's good. It's important. It's hard, to be inclusive with.
That's what I mean. So how do
students.
some people? The point was like, yeah, how did these guys, seniors, are able to get on that level?
It's just exposure,
Yeah,
just
okay.
like anything else, whether again, I'm working with, students with special needs, or we go to, a
Just a
school
regular-
where there's, a certain problem, where there's cyberbullying here, or this is like a predominantly blank culture, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's just opening their eyes to everything, and just being accepting, and it sounds so simple of a concept, but
It sounds simple, but
for the last 7-8 years as a coordinator in this position, I was always looking for me to bring into the school and speak to my kids. It just doesn't exist. And like you guys are doing for the wedding industry, where you're this one-stop shop for everything. That's
Sure.
what I'm trying to be for education. Is if you need a keynote speaker, you want a workshop, you want professional development for your staff, a leadership camp for the summer, like I offer it all. And again, it's the topics that are so simple but aren't being tackled because we don't have the resources in front of us, and at least locally in this area, and now we do.
do you guys? I think it's fantastic. I
Thank
think
you.
it's absolutely fantastic.
Thank you.
Do you guys have is there a website?
Yeah,
people
so
can
my
check out?
website is AcademyLCD.com, Academy of Leadership and Character Development.com. So it's really just me, kind of going into the schools, and the big thing I'll be doing is offering summer leadership camps to any school district that wants it. I've been in the works talking to some schools, in the area, and these are like 2-3-day seminars where I'm teaching them team building, relationship building, and really just showing them how to become a voice for their school district when they go back in September, and boost the culture and climate. Because I come from, again, a district of 3,000 students,
Right.
43 countries, and it's tough.
Right.
It's very
hard.
tough, and,
Sure.
and it's important to make sure everybody's working together. And if you build a culture that is conducive to respect and character, the academics will take care of itself. I almost feel like that stuff's second nature. Anybody can make that work in a school.
Sure.
But if the kids aren't being respectful, they're not looking out for each other, they're not taking care of each other, not being including of everybody in the building, and showing that kindness and charity, it's
But you're gonna have
Well,
kids, right? Regardless, who are they can care less about you. They're
100
not gonna care, right?
100%. And that's kind of where this passion of mine came from.
Yeah.
I always love to focus on that one student first. Like when I walk into do an assembly, I can usually tell in the first 30 seconds, all right, that kid right there, he's
gonna
going to
be
be the
trouble.
one that I got to look out for. But I like to think that I'm pretty decent at roping them in,
Totally.
and involving them, and again, just including him somehow, some way, whether it's just making him answer my first question, being
Perfect.
my partner to turn on my music, which
Yeah.
I bring into the assemblies and stuff too. And usually within the 2 hours at the end of it, he's high-fiving me, or she's high-fiving me and saying thank you, because I look at a lot of that stuff, and it always usually starts at home with something they've been dealing with,
Of course.
or are still dealing with.
Right, right.
I've had my own stuff in the past, and it's easy to turn your back on that and say that's too hard to deal with, but that's not what my company's about. We're all about looking at those guys first, and then bringing them up to par with everybody else, and then usually those are the kids who end up being the best leaders anyway. Later
The ones that
in
were
life.
cuckoo.
It's amazing. Yeah,
Well, I love that you hit on, because that's exactly where I would go, right? If you got somebody's high energy or the one that's annoying, you know that kid. You're my assistant. You're helping out, right?
Yeah. It's usually the ones that are like standoffish. You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't want this is weird.
Totally.
Or this is stupid. And, and you know, those are usually the ones that I'm the students that I know need it the most. You know, and it's again, I can't even tell you how rewarding that feels. More so than all the music stuff that I do. It's just that is this company I'm excited about. I'm just needed to get some traction. People start finding out about it. I think school districts will be super appreciative that now there's an outlet and an opportunity in every dimension of school where they can go to somebody and help.
There's something there instead of where do I go?
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah, it's amazing, you know, in education that we don't have it. You know, you got to call companies in California or wherever, and they fly in. They're there for 2 hours. They leave and never hear from them again. And you know, that's the difference with me. I'm local. I'm here, and even after you hire me for something, I'm right around the corner, and I want to pride myself in still having an ongoing relationship even after the day I go into your school and meet your students.
And they can come see you play.
100%. Yeah, it's just a full circle. It's full circle.
That's all. Say that website one more time.
AcademyLCD.com. Academy of Leadership and Character Development.
That's awesome. That's a fantastic story. I love the journey.
Thank you.
We'll get it out there to as many people.
Appreciate it.
I think it's great. Maybe I'll call you for some advice.
Absolutely, 100%.
Jamie!
That's it.
Hanging with Denny.